Okay, I have a job here to do where I have to make the top here of this here driftwood flat to put a tabletop on top, and the bottom has to be made flat also for the base. It has to be tilted on an angle like this. That ensures everything is nice and level this way. So I have to come up with a way of how I'm going to be able to trim all this down where it needs to be, trim the top, and that's coming up next. What I did here is I got some plywood here and some 2x2s, and I'm going to try to make some sort of a scaffolding system to go around there and use that for a gauge to trim both the top and bottom, and you'll see how that's done. Alright, the first thing I did was I just shimmed it up here a little bit to get that tight so it doesn't rock on me. And I think the first thing I'm going to do right now is put a level across here and just see what I have here and level on the top first. Okay, the first thing to do is to level the whole platform here. Just put a couple shims down here and get everything all leveled up this way. Okay, the next thing here is to shim this to keep this from rocking now. So now what I'll do is I'll start leveling the top of this and just check and see where the level line would go across. Okay, looking over this whole thing here, I look at this here and I see that this here part here should be the reference that would reference to everything else around here. This is a little bit higher here, but this is a nice feature here. So there's a little bit of a knob right here, so what I'll do, I will flatten this enough here first to give some support for a tabletop, and then use that for the reference to come across to this part here and around. Mark there where the level comes across. Okay, that's level across there now, on that side there. Now I need to swing this to the middle here now, and I'll be taking off the middle now until we get that bubble level there, and I'll be taking off that much there now. Okay, I have a mark right here for where that comes across level now, and time to grind that part down now. What we're going to do is we're going to check the 3 points here, there, and there. So we're going to come across from here to here first. That's across there. Now we're good and level. Now we're going to swing the level back to the middle here. And we're good and level there now across. Now we're going to come across here and swing this direction here now. And we're good and level there. So we have all 3 points here now in the front taken care of. This back here will have to be built up just to reach into there because that's down about that much, and he doesn't want that much taken off of this in the front to match into that. So we're going to build into that. But this is what needs to be done right now in the front to get this established in the front here first. The point-to-point leveling works good for initial setup here. However, though, to fine-tune this now or to double check to make sure everything is good, we take a piece of flat stock here now, a piece of flat plywood, and lay that on here. and then put the level on there. That way there, now I'm checking the whole thing as a complete system, and that's nice and level all the way across. That's good that way. Let's check it this way now. And that's going to come just a little bit. That's pretty good level here too, so we're not too bad here. Back here just a little bit, not much. Might be the plywood too. So we're good. So as you can see, by putting a piece of plywood on top and touching all 3 points like this, we can check then for the complete overall flatness of all 3 points, and it's looking really good. Next thing to do now is to turn this whole thing upside down and set it on these here points here, and then brace it up, and then we'll start the scaffolding system that I was talking about that I will use as a jig to parallel the bottom with the top, and that's coming up next. Okay, here's a good indication that the 3 points have been leveled out properly, because the whole thing is upside down now and it is balancing on those 3 points. It's balancing right on there properly. It's nice and steady, and it's right on the 3 points. 1, 2, and the third one back there, and it's balanced. I can push it a little bit here and it goes back into position. Right there it is. It's back in position and I push it. So we got good. That's a good indication that it's leveled out on the bottom. The platform I leveled out on the floor so that everything's sitting level. And so this, like I said, this confirms a good 3 bearing point here of flatness with each other. And later on there will be something built out here somewhere, probably added on to add on to that later on. But right now it's time to work on the bottom and get the bottom now parallel with the top. And here's how this is going to be done. I can't go any lower than 24. He wants 3 solid bearing points here, here, and here to for lag bolts to put the base on. He doesn't want it any lower than 24 inches, so I'm going to start here at around 26, maybe 25 and a half in that area there, and see if I have enough material here that a lag bolt can go through, if it's thick enough. But I can't go any lower than 24, so I have to keep on working in this direction here. Now what I'm going to do is, since this is the thinnest part here, I will work on this first and use that to establish the other 2 points. So what I'll do is I'll grind this down now and see how much thickness we can get here for a lag bolt. Using my curve here, this here flexible curve, to try to get a little outline here. And then I'll put that on a piece of plywood. I just took this curve all the way around and I transferred it to the piece of plywood here and drew it in. What I'll do now is I'll cut all this out and see how that fits over there. Alrighty. That should work good. What I do now is stiffen this here plywood up and then build a scaffold for it, and we'll have it ready to go. Okay, here's the jig that I set up here, scaffolding. And it's nice and level going across. So we should be good to go with this now. So I made the height of this about 25 1/4 inches. That's the cutoff point. So that will take it down to about here. Get a lot of solid. And now it's time to go ahead and cut this now. Okay, taking my handsaw, I'll use this as the guide, and very carefully just start cutting away and see how this comes out. One part of it cut off. start working on the next part of it here. Okay, there it is, all cut out. I put a little grinder to a little bit different places also, because the saw has a tendency to bend a little bit as it gets closer out there. Not as much support in the saw blade, but other than that, it worked out pretty good. So I'm pretty well even with the top of my plywood here now. So now I'll go ahead and turn it over and see how it sits on the flat floor now, flat bench. Okay, there's the jig set to the side. And here's this, still upside down yet. And we'll go ahead and turn this right side up and see how well she sits now. Alright, it's coming up next. Okay, after just a little bit of tweaking with my grinder on top again, just to get it back in properly. Everything looks good again. And so now I just put a temporary piece of plywood up here just to give it a check. The bottom is very, very solid. It does not rock at all, as it did before. And so we're pretty darn good there. Going across this way. And so everything looks good. Now, to recap how I did all this. To recap this here, the first thing I had to do is I had to level up the base here that I'm going to place the whole thing on. Once I have this leveled up completely, both directions, then I was able to start working on the workpiece itself and get that level and solid to there, and then, you know, as I did the top and the bottom things. But the main thing is to have the bottom reference level first. And everything worked out good. Thank God, everything worked out really good, and I'm very happy with it. And I would say this job is done at this point right here. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.